my channel. So for today's video, I am sharing one of my workouts that I do in my workout split. And this guy right here actually programmed it for me. So I've been doing this for many weeks now. But
I'm on 14, so what are you on? I've been doing it for 14 weeks.
20 something.
Holy.
But like we've changed the accessories. So I want Kieran to like explain it a little bit more in depth. And we're also working out with a couple friends, Luke and Mackenzie today. So we're gonna meet them in Crunch Fitness.
Yeah, it's not our home gym.
But today I'm trying to hit 85 pounds for a set of, I believe it's four reps, 4 sets.
On
bench. It's been a long time trying to hit this.
You're bringing out all the artillery. Well, I feel like it's good to wear it at this gym because they might not have as nice of benches and stuff like that because it's a commercial gym. I'm just hoping, because Crunch is supposed to have hoist machines, which is the ones that move with your body kind of thing, where like the chair will move with you.
We'll throw in a clip right here.
I'm hoping the Crunch, those are in America, I know that for sure. I'm hoping the Crunches in Canada have that too, because that's kind of why I wanted to try this place. Well, for Clarissa's program, I just set volume landmarks based on each muscle, and then I just got her to send me all her favorite exercises for each of those muscle groups. And then I just took the 4 days that she was able to work out and kind of like jigsaw puzzle, place them where they fit with each other, where you're not overloading too much in one day, where you're also touching everything a little bit in each day. So it's kind of like 4 full body days, just for the fact that you want to fit as much as you can in, because you're only working out 4 days, and base it around the compound movements. And then I have one progression way for all your accessories and another progression system for your compound movements. So the progression for your compound movements is a little more complicated. It's not from me, the credit to Eric Helms. I just kind of took his knowledge and implemented it into my own way of making her program, but that it's his method of programming for compound movements, and it's worked for both of us so far. And Griffin.
Yeah, his friend Griffin.
Like, you hip thrust over 300 pounds for reps right now. Like, at the moment I don't even do that, which is, I've just started doing hip thrusts like last month, so I'm starting really low and light and then working my way up, which, like, I'm sure if you made me do hip thrusts and was like match your thing, I could, but I'm not. I'm programming it so I do constant progress instead. But yeah, like, not many girls can say they hip thrust in the 300s for reps and sets. Your deadlift is, and your squat, like, everything has gone up and you've progressed well and you've enjoyed the program, which is literally the whole point of programming. Make progress, enjoy your workouts.
Yeah, I like how you've programmed it because it's literally tailored exactly to like what I want to do. And like you've said before, if there's a certain movement that you don't feel the mind muscle connection as much, like, let's pick something else and sub it in instead. And then I'm not like hating my life, being like, when am I gonna feel this muscle? Yeah,
like if Clarissa ever says to me that she doesn't like a workout anymore, or exercise, sorry, I'll just switch it for something similar. For example, like, I've realized how much more, before I used to look at, okay, what is the best bang for your buck? Like, what exercise is the best for this muscle just because the science says so? And now it's not, I don't care as much about that. Like, if she's doing assisted pull-ups and she just doesn't feel as much, but assisted pull-ups is the best because real pull-ups are the best for your back, I told her to try lat pull downs. She loves lat pull downs because lat pull downs are like my favorite back exercise for like feeling the actual muscle. And now, so we just switched assistant pull ups because she wasn't really doing them properly and she wasn't getting that full connection. Switch it to lat pull downs, regardless of it maybe isn't as, it's 1% or 5% worse for your back progress, but it's 20% more connection. You'll make better gains, more progress on that.
And I also have kind of like odd hips and knees in certain movements. Like, I get like discomfort, so it's hard to progress in weight. Leg press being an example. I love leg press, but I find the heavier weight, it just, like, my knees, it really starts to irritate them. But with the knee sleeves, they've definitely helped. So it's nice to have those for like squats and leg press and
like
such.
For me, I've probably been working out for 4 years now. I've probably made 4% back progress in my first 2 years when I just did things, never had a mind muscle connection, I could never feel my back. And then in the last year, I've probably made all my back progress, and it's actually significant where you can tell that I actually work out my back because I changed the way I work it out. Like, I make sure I'm feeling it and then do what makes me feel it. That's all.
And we also tried a coffee shop, a new one this morning. I don't know how new it is to our area, but it's new to us. So it was rated like a 4.9, had 80 reviews. The inside of it, I'm sure you'll see during this clip with all the B-roll, is really cool. How would you describe it?
Punk rustic, not punk, sorry, alternative rustic.
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot of like woodsy,
if it was a band,
warm.
It would be Foster the People.
Yeah, you're right. Super busy, like super busy.
They had like a little cult following because they knew a couple people's names right when they walked in.
Yeah.
So that they just come there every time.
Yeah.
They didn't have sizes of cup options apparently. Well, Clarissa ordered 12 ounces, and the cup didn't change. Like he's like, this is our cup. She's like, oh, can I get a bigger one? He's like, yeah, that's 12 ounces. She's like, she said, okay, I'll get the 12 then. And he just put it in the same cup and started filling the cup. I was like, okay. And I asked him what the size of the regular Americano was, and he said there was the small cup. And I was like, oh, could I just maybe add an espresso shot and get it in a bigger cup then, please? He's like, yeah, no problem. Puts in the same cup. So the place and the vibe was really cool, but the customer service wasn't great. And then the lady, when my Americano was ready, she said triple shot affogato or something like that.
No, she says something manger. Affogato means something completely different.
I just made that word up. Is that a real word?
Affogato is, if I'm saying it correctly, which I think is what you're trying to say, is when you put the shot on top of the milk. Like frothed milk. That's what it was at Starbucks.
I literally just made that word up, but
affogato is a thing. It is a thing.
Either way, she just said triple shot affa manger or something that was not Americano, and that's so I just stood there, and then I was just kind of
because they don't write your name or anything, and it's busy enough that they could.
She looks at me and she's like, "Did you order the triple shot Americano?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's right there," and I was like, "Okay." Why wouldn't you like? That's not my fault. So we took it and left. Yeah, it was alright. The coffee was alright.
I think I would go back, but like maybe not on a Saturday morning. Their hours are very like limited. It's like 8 to 1 p.m. or something most days, and also, I think one day they're not even open. Yeah. Also, to be fair though, to give a cafe, like a little one-off cafe, it's a real rating. You should probably sit in it and like enjoy their experience, in a
like
mug.
in a regular, like a sit-in cup and things like that, and like actually experience their cafe, because that's kind of what their business model is. That's why they wouldn't interior design for you to take a takeout cup. Like it's not a Tim Hortons.
Right.
So I feel like that would be a better representation. But either way, it was not a 4.9. Sorry, bud.
We're gonna go work out. It's Luke!
What up? It's your boy Luke.
You have to talk louder. We have Zumba music.
Zumba music? Oh yeah, okay. What up? It's your boy Luke. Clarissa's homie.
So I'm starting off with warming up just with the 45-pound bar, and then from here we're gonna go into warm-up weight, and then we are gonna go into 85 pounds on the bar. For my warm-up weight, I did 10 pounds on each side. I sometimes throw on a 5 as well, just really depends what I want to warm up with that day, but this felt good as a warm-up weight to me this day. Here we go. This is set 1 of 85 pounds, 4 reps, 4 sets. I strongly recommend having a spotter when you are doing a new movement, especially something like this. It's not as easy to be able to recover yourself if you do drop the weight. Like for squats and deadlift, you can kind of manage, but for bench it's a little more difficult, so I definitely needed my spotter with me for a lot of my bench days before I got comfortable enough. And, you know, as you go up in weight, you're definitely going to need your spotter, so I waited to do my bench day until my boyfriend and I worked out together. Something that you guys probably don't know about me is that I've been trying to hit 85 pounds on bench for all of my sets continuously for a couple months now, so this was quite an exciting moment, being my last set and actually being able to successfully get it. Next, moving on to deadlifts, I am just warming up with the bar once again. Make sure you squeeze your glutes at the top. Even if it's just for a warm-up, you want to get yourself warmed up and you want to have that mind-muscle connection right from the get-go. I used to kind of just go through the motions. Huge no-no. Get that mind-muscle connection before you actually get the weight on the bar. Then I am putting some warm-up weight on, so I put 10 pounds and 5 pounds on each side. If you can find 10 pounds that have a better height to them, that would be obviously much more like efficient, so you're not bending down as far, because this is not realistic to have these baby 10s on the sides. Now I'm finally going into my working weight. We're at 175 pounds for 4 sets and 4 reps. And this is the 4th week in like my little block or cycle. I don't really know what else is in my sequence, I guess. So I'm at the bottom of the rep range, but highest in weight for the amount on the bar for each exercise. Moving right along to weighted lunges. As you can see, I have 2 25-pound dumbbells in my hands, and I did 3 sets 115 reps. I was at the top of the rep range for this movement. Moving on to the leg curl machine, I prefer the lying down leg curl machine, and thanks babe for getting your finger in the shot, but that one was in use, so I had to settle for this one. And to be honest, my face is pretty frustrated, and I'm also trying to concentrate at the same time. I don't like how many adjustments there are on this machine, and I can't feel as good of a mind muscle connection on it than I can on the lying leg curl, so I'm really trying to power through this. But I just felt it in my kneecaps, which I know you're obviously not supposed to feel. This is for your hamstrings. Well, as soon as one of the gym members got off the lying leg curl machine, I basically sprinted to it. So here I am doing the lying leg curl, and the little correction I can give myself for sure is the space on the front of my thigh there / hip area is coming up a bit when I am pushing that pad up with my calves. That shouldn't be happening. I should be pretty glued to the seat there. So little correction. Moving on to the hip abduction machine. This one was god awful. I don't think I've ever used such a terrible hip abduction before. So I actually went to go switch it up and try another one, and that one was just as bad. So I was powering through, but it was hard to make progress in this movement on this day, and it was very frustrating. That's all I can say about this movement. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But I will just mention one thing, that I was supposed to do 3 sets, 12 reps at 160 pounds. This video gets better and better because I couldn't find a bench that was not in use, so I had to use a stepper to do my kneeling tricep dumbbell extension. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it definitely was not the most comfortable. I was to do 4 sets and 10 reps, and this is a 20-pound dumbbell. That also basically concludes this workout video. It wasn't super ideal because I was recording in a gym that I've never worked out in before, so for the future I definitely will not make that mistake again. Finding angles and having people in the way and just not knowing the layout of the gym is kind of hard to work with, but yeah, let's cue the outro. We're back, and it is now 8:05, and I ruined that transition because I didn't do my hand thing for the gym, so I just thought it'd be funny to do it now. But basically, just wanted to outro this video. I had an okay workout, but our overall thoughts on this gym?
Yeah, so this will be a Crunch Fitness review. That was probably
Let's make it quick, though.
That was the worst gym I've ever been to in my life. I will never go back there. It smelled awful. Every locker was rusted. There was flooding in the bathroom. One of the urinals was just full of, it was just awful. Every equipment just felt greasy, and like someone just rubbed their armpit all over it. Like every time you picked up a dumbbell, it was disgusting. Like it was the worst gym experience I've ever had in my life. Don't go there. It also wasn't even, they didn't have any hoist machines. They didn't have the orange dumbbells. That's like their staple thing. And the guy I walked in, he was like, yeah, this is probably the best gym for powerlifting around this area. And I was like, oh, okay.
He said that?
Yeah, because the gym that I go to is too far away, and he noticed my gym, and that's
like,
actually...
because he was wearing a sweater that said his gym name.
That's actually a good gym. And I kind of wanted to see him way up, being like, you're a bad liar, man. Like, that was the worst gym I've ever been to. And not to say I've been to a lot of bad gyms. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it's definitely the worst gym I've been to, even for a day pass kind of thing. So I would not recommend that. Yeah, I did not have a good experience.
It was very,
My
very
workout
busy.
was fine, but
I mean, you'll get that at a lot of gyms. And yeah, I agree with you on all that. And what frustrated me was the bathroom stalls. Like, there's no proper locks on any of the doors, and there's barely any soap in like the dispensers. And then the hand dryer, both of them didn't work.
Didn't do anything.
And there was no, like, yeah,
Did it work?
I think not really.
I pressed it. It was just blowing cold air on my hands, and I was like, my hands are soaking wet still.
It's like, you're not gonna give us paper towels.
I had to wipe it on my
proper
shirt.
dryers. I know, it was just retarded. And I honestly felt disgusting sitting down on that toilet. Like, I put toilet paper all over, like multiple layers, because I was so scared I was gonna catch some type of disease at this gym. And then they don't have a proper like water fountain. Like, you know how most gyms now have like almost like Brita kind of filters that you just stick your bottle under. It's like a sensor and it'll fill it, instead of having to like do the old school push and like tip your water and hope that it's just gonna fill as much as you can.
The
It's not updated. Like, I don't know. It's really frustrating. Their gym membership is really cheap, so I guess you really do get what you pay for.
Yeah, but I was thinking when I was at that gym, when I started going to the gym in grade 12 or end of grade 11 or whatever, when I started, me and my buddy were starting to go. If I started at that gym, I don't think I would still be into fitness today in terms of like how heavy I got into it and how much I love the gym and how much I go now. That gym probably would have completely turned me off the gym, and I probably would have just stopped going, and I may never have started going back. So that just made me think about what other people, if they were in my situation, going to that gym as their first gym,
Right.
how much they could get deterred from going to the gym.
And their Wi-Fi wouldn't connect. And we both just kind of felt like, I don't know if this has anything to do with the gym, but we felt like, well, not nauseous.
Well, half the equipment she
lightheaded.
tried to use was either like not lubed enough, so it wasn't even like you were hurt, the 80 pounds was too hard. It was like the machine was fighting you.
There felt like there was just a ton of resistance, and you were doing your best to like fight the resistance, but you were just, at the end, I was just so frustrated. I think hip abduction was the only one that I really was that frustrated with. Everything else I kind of worked through and found other ways to do it, but yeah, it was pretty frustrating. My compound movements went pretty well, and I'm happy with my bench today that I finally hit the number, but everything else just kind of went like at the end.
Yeah, so now we know. Hopefully we'll do a world tour. That's what I want to do. I want to do a gym world tour with actual good gyms.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I want to do a different, I think, style of how I do my workout recording in the future, but this is a starting point.
Goodbye.